Well, this really is quite uplifting. There is so much to raise the mood all around us. After all, this is when, in the face of anything, hope springs eternal, and the fans puff out their chests proudly. Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. There's the whistle. Inacio makes the starting 11. Talk to me, Jim. What can we expect from him?
Well, Peter, firstly, his positioning's spot on, and he's excellent at reading the game. He should help this defensive line now keep a shape, making sure they don't get out of position at the back. He's good at that. He's a leader.
Yeah, he would be the obvious choice, wouldn't he? He certainly has all the right qualities. And the goalkeeper's got a good palm to that. Inacio tries to clear. And they've got rid. Costa Curta. He's had it taken off him. Engages and forces him off the ball. Now it's Inzaghi. Now, can they get him away? And he's there to belt it away. And he's quick to snatch it back. Barella. It is early, but the game hasn't yet sparked into life. Here's Zaccagni. Turns back here, probably the best option. Costa Curta. And he goes cross-field.
That's a great ball cross-field.
And this is Del Piero.
Yeah, we get to see this more and more. Defenders popping up in these positions. Yeah, I think if that can be repeated, there's a good chance of a goal. Oh, look, this is about as tentative as it comes. Hopefully, a football match will break out soon.
João Cancelo. Passes short and sharp. And that's not going to reach. And that pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Portugal clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
Portugal finding their passes. Can he get on? Gonzalo Ramos! Well, he's going to be disappointed with that. Shot at goal!
That's just playing it safe and simple.
It's a good spot of possession, this. Real chance! Brilliant from Diogo Jota! A finish right from the top draw!
Well, a 1-2 is easier to pull off than most dribbles, and I think we've just seen the proof.
Portugal penetrate first. It is a truly precious lead.
Well, that's got this place bouncing. Just listen to the noise all around us. Now they have all of this positive energy to feed off.
Portugal have a free kick. And he is going into that little black book. Nuno Mendes. And the two sides separated by the game's only breakthrough moment to this point. 1-0 the score. Zaccagni. Now it's Inzaghi. And now the breakaway. Zaccagni. That's really well cleared. Bruno Fernandes. 30 minutes gone.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Nuno Mendes tries to play it, and he shoots! Great build-up. It all deserved a better ending.
That's really well played. It's just the type of run you need. Off the shoulder of the last defender, stay onside.
And we have our very first corner. Bruno Fernandes plays it short. Decent chance! Now, who's going to be first to this? Now, this could be a chance. Bonucci gets it away. Not the worst cross in the world, but still room for improvement. Some really good ball movement. Chance, surely!
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Portugal looking to go into the break, 1-0 up. It's a promising position. Gonçalo Inácio. Now Ruben Dias. Just 5 minutes left until the break. Out to the left it goes. Has a shot! And a terrific save from the keeper.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. And it's Neves. And he welcomes it in. Bastoni. Lobbed in behind. And this is Del Piero. And this is Del Piero. Can he finish? He's got a goal! They are right back in business.
Well, I always thought they had it in them, Peter. They upped the quality as needed, and once they got going, they were awfully hard to stop.
One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest.
And that is going to be the final action of the first half. Nothing to separate the two teams at half-time. They've both given it a really good go, and they head into the break all square. That's been a decent 45 minutes. Competitive, certainly, and a goal each.
Está a acontecer uma substituição.
There's the whistle then to start the second half.
Portugal clearly have been the better side here. So if I was to say anything to them, it would be just keep going. If it's not broken, don't try to fix it.
That's been drilled in. João Neves. Bruno Fernandes. Can he get it through? Gonçalo Ramos. And the ball's come loose here. It's their second corner of the game. Terrific header! Decent attempt, but not quite good enough. Gonçalo Inácio. Portugal looking to pass their way through. It's a really well-measured ball. There's the delivery. I think that's offside. Yes, it is.
Is that the first time we've seen them try that? It's definitely given the opposition a little more to think about.
And he's forced to go back. Nuno Mendes. Tonali. And they're back on the ball again. Nicely weighted ball. Picked out brilliantly. Shapes to shoot! Oh, the ball's run loose here. DiMarco elects to cross. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Oh, it's come loose. And he's got the beating of his man. Shoots! Magnificent from Fratesi! A finish of true class! They've done it! It was coming! They have their reward! Calm, composed, confident. What a super goal.
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
Italy take the lead.
Yeah, I always felt this was coming. There was a clear increase in both intensity and tempo. Now all they need is to try and maintain it. Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Knocks it into space. Well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Well, the runner's been sold a little bit short there.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
Now it's Sakani. He's found a way through. In by DiMarco. Del Piero gets flagged offside. You would think that now would be a good time to consider some changes.
It's about risk-taking and boldness now. Are we going to see any activity from the bench?
That was not Pogba. Threads one in. Oh, super find. Oh, shooting chance! And it's in! 2 up and in charge, and things are looking pretty good for them now. And that is fabulous. A true beauty of a goal.
And you can see he meant every bit of that, Peter. He had his head up as he went to hit it. He knew his landscape.
Substituição para Portugal. Número 87.
We have got changes here from both sides, in fact.
Número 8.
Italy take a 2-goal lead and are looking good for the win.
To be expected, Peter. They've gone and stepped it up, something they've been threatening to do and will continue to do by the looks of it.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
DiMarco.
Está a proceder-se a uma substituição.
Bruno Fernandes. And he's picked it up out wide. Oh, smashing header!
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Ball's gone out of play. Now then, the ball's come loose. Cleared without complication. And he has slightly undercooked that one.
Portugal clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
Up he goes! He should have put that one away.
Well, his movement has certainly picked up. He's got that decisive goal on his mind.
Gently done. Tonali kept his eye on it, and he's there. Spread neatly. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Oh, well played, well sorted out. Del Piero chasing after it. Oh no, he's got that wrong. And here's Jota. Bruno Fernandes. Fratesi. Now it's Del Piero. He's in a great position here. Looking to play him in. And that's a good ball. Goes for a shot! Just cruising! They are cruising! Up by 3. They have their boots on the throats of their foes.
The skill and the confidence was just brilliant, and he showed both a quick head and even quicker feet.
So now the difference is 3. Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick. He knew what was coming. That's a yellow card.
Well, sometimes a loose foul can trigger a completely different spell of play, and it makes even less sense.
João Cancelo. The final 5 minutes. Out towards the flank. Gets a good foot in there. And it's Cancelo. Great vision. Oh, he had to make that, and he did make it. Italy clearly now in lead preservation mode. He has a look up. Tonali. Fratesi. That is a great pick out. He's shifting through. He's having a go.
Vamos ter 5 minutos de compensação.
And he's gone back. And another try! They've got to be quick to recover this. Ruben Dias deals with that comfortably. Now it's Conceição. Tonali kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. Tries to pass it through. And some are shouting for a corner, but the referee says goal kick. Added time is up, and there goes the whistle. Portugal can look back at this result with regret. A front foot start, but they were ultimately made to pay for their inability to kill it off. Your final thoughts, Jim?
Portugal desperately
Well, here comes a crunch game. So much depends on this. Expectation and nerve. It is indeed a heady mix. Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. Well, we're on the way. Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
For this guy, João Felix, Peter, freedom of movement is key. When he's at his most...
And he's had a hit! Oh, he did the hard part right, but fluffed the finish.
He did well there, held his run enough to ensure he didn't stray offside.
Nuno Mendes. Vitinha. Here's João Felix. And that is a little undercooked. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, he's felt that, hasn't he? Bruno Fernandes. Shoots! Goal! Portugal! And Portugal score first. And that was as close to certain as can be.
Such a smart finish, and the setup was very good too, but defensively, they didn't cover themselves in glory here.
So we have had the first significant moment. It is 1-0.
Well, that silenced the crowd, Peter.
Terrific header! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Diogo Jota actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
And we have our very first corner. Brazil have the chance to go the other way. Neymar. He's making a real surge on the left. Neymar! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve. Oh, what has happened here? Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him.
Well, I think that move petered out due to a lack of urgency. There was no cutting edge.
In towards the back stick. That should be the goalkeeper's, and it is. And it's Bruno Fernandes. And he's picked out the run. Bremer.
They want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
So just the one early goal to report so far. 1-0 the score. Lovely pass, but can he get there?
That's positional goals, the utilisation of space.
Oh, sweet feet. Takes the shot! Antonio Silva. That's a risky ball, you've got to say. Nuno Mendes. And it's Vitinha. It's a pretty loose pass. And they've switched it over to the other side.
Good ball, that too.
Neymar. Real chance! And again the keeper stands strong.
Great stop from the keeper. That was something else. He's definitely coming out on top at the moment.
Now it's João Felix. João Cancelo. And that pass just didn't quite work. And that pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
We always look the favourite there. Well, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. It's a throw-in. Gonçalo Inácio. João Felix. Now, can they get him away? That was nowhere near his best. Vitinha. Passing is crisp and sharp. Now it's Diogo Jota. Oh, well played, well played.
It looks very much like they'd be happy to settle for this narrow lead at the break.
Goes for goal! Oh, he's been caught on it here. Nuno Mendes. Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. Bruno Fernandes. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. Now it's Vinicius Junior. Big chance! They've scored! They have come roaring back!
And that comes as a very welcome relief. Now let's see who's got what it takes to seize the initiative from here.
And the trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
Brazil grab the equaliser, and we're all square.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant.
And it's half-time here. So it's all square. Neither side has been able to make a telling difference, but it hasn't been for the lack of trying. That's a really interesting game, and they head in at half-time at 1-1.
Até as lixeiras posicionadas ao lado dos portões de entrada. Agradecemos a colaboração.
Portugal kick off the second half. Portugal looking to pass their way through. Oh, he's put a shade too much on that. Oh, there's a probing ball. That pass surprised everyone, and not in a good way. Well, that looks a decent ball. João Felix, and it's Vitinha. Can he get on the end of this? Bruno Fernandes, and he welcomes it in, climbs up big! And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Oh, well played, well sorted out. And it's Neymar. João Felix. Oh, perfectly measured that. Looks like he's been given offside again here. Yes, he has. Rivaldo promptly onto that, and that is that. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. João Felix. That's a little off target. Not the most accurate pass. And this is Ronaldo. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Brazil do have a chance to counter here. And that is as far as they're going to go. João Cancelo. And it's Cancelo.
There they go, hunting again.
Well, the boss won't be happy about that at all. They were pedestrian in possession and carried almost no threat at all. Now it's João Felix. Serginho kept his eye on it, and he's there. Neymar might just make this. And this is Ronaldo. João Felix. Marquinhos kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. And this is Ronaldinho. And he's managed to get free.
Shot a goal! Goal! Brazil!
And the game is well and truly turned on its head. That really is quite fabulous. All his own doing.
Well, from the moment he got involved, he looked as if he'd go all the way. Terrific.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
Well, they've done the hard part now, Peter. Can they cling on? Or even better, can they get another?
Defending of the desperate variety.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
This is a really front-footed approach.
I think they just have to keep forcing the issue and they'll get clinical.
Shot, surely! And that is doing no harm at all.
Yeah, I think that miss is going to give him nightmares for a while.
Substituição.
So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while. A swift reaction then, and the boss opting to reshuffle his defence.
Yeah, and that's not totally surprising. The manager obviously felt his defence needed reinforcement. He can't afford a repeat.
Closing in on the last quarter of an hour. Brilliantly cut out. Portugal perhaps contemplating their next change here.
Well, the manager's got a decision to make here, whether he's happy to stick or twist.
Well read, and the danger is averted.
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
And this is Neymar. João Neves. Looking to play him in. Looking for options for movement. And he has slightly undercooked that one.
Portugal clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
Looking to go deep. And it's claimed by the keeper. Oh no, no circumventing this opponent.
They need to play this quicker in transitions like this.
Dink through. Time is running out here.
Well, it's looking like too little too late, but they are giving it all they have.
No, that's been intercepted. João Neves. And it's Neves. Shot could be on. Oh, well cut out. No margin for error there at all. And here's Jota. Good ball, good take. And he's heaved it away.
Portugal really can only do one thing now, Peter. Get the ball up front, make sure it sticks, and sustain some pressure.
Foot in. Oh, he's been caught napping. Nuno Mendes. Now it's Ramos. Great vision. That is a great pick out. Vinicius Junior. A lot of space ahead of him. Serginho. And that is it. The referee has seen enough. Portugal pleasingly clever on the ball. They had their moments, but ultimately they take away nothing. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Portugal just didn't have enough time, Peter, to correct their many problems in this match. Now for some training.
Well, here comes a crunch game. So much depends on this. Expectation and nerve. It is indeed a heady mix. These high, steep stands at Signal Iduna Park really do create an intimidating environment for every visiting side. So we're up and running. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
Well, I've been really impressed by this guy, Marmoush, who I expect to be amongst the goals here, Peter. He's, for me, very much the complete package. Great operating alone or in a partnership, but I prefer to see him play off somebody. That's when you really get to see his skills, not just as a finisher, but as someone who initiates as well.
Hard to disagree with that. It is the sort of situation he thrives in. Salah. Not the most convincing of passes. Well, that looks a decent ball. Marmoush! Goal! Egypt! The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
Portugal are already chasing the game. They didn't envisage that. Jota. And he shoots! Goal! Portugal! They're level in a trice!
Yeah, since going a goal down, they've dug in to produce a really fine spell, which for me deserved that equaliser.
Well, was he ever going to miss that? Of course he wasn't.
Yeah, keeping calm and taking a touch like that when it's all going on around you isn't always that easy, but he made it look like a doddle. Finishing it off was quite simple after that.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, there's resilience for you, Peter. As a side, they never lost focus despite the setback, and this is thoroughly merited for me. Now they can go one better, possibly.
And he's running through. This might spell danger. Inacio gets it clear. Out to the right. Mohamed Salah is herring after that one. Mohamed Salah is offering some sort of an apology there.
Well, the pass wasn't good enough, and he knows it.
It's Salah! And for a moment, time stood still.
He's a lucky boy there. You lose the ball like that, and usually you're going to get punished.
Midway through the first period, and it's looking quite a game here. And it's Bernardo Silva. João Neves. João Neves. Oh, this is a terrific run. Knocks it into space. João Neves. Tries to pass it through. Jota showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Now it's João Felix. Vitinha. He's gone for goal! That was superb goalkeeping.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Portugal with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. Vitinha with the short one. And it's Mendes. He's having a go! And that has earned a few nods of approval from the bench. Corner number 2 then. Shoots! He's done very well to get to that.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
That has ended up in no man's land.
They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
That's a cute ball. No, he's just misjudged that one. Nuno Mendes. Vitinha. Nuno Mendes. Played out to the left flank. Jota.
Yeah, that works for me. The denial.
And the shot! Goal! Portugal! And the game is well and truly turned on its head. The invitation was clear, and it was accepted with the utmost glee.
Way too good, Peter. Too quick, too smart for that defence, who were made to look a little lost, in all honesty.
Portugal go into the lead.
Yeah, I always felt this was coming. There was a clear increase in both intensity and tempo. Now all they need is to try and maintain it. That's just playing it safe and simple.
Half-time coming up, and little doubt as to which of the two sides is the happier.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
He's had a shot! Oh, terrific save from the keeper.
Well, you get a sense, Peter, that he could almost get to anything today.
And the keeper beats it away. Now it's Mohamed Salah. Cross goes in there. Nice and easy for the goalkeeper. Portugal are looking to go forward now. Ruben Neves. Spread out to the left. Now it's Diogo Jota. Oh, he's onto this. Oh, he's managed to get himself offside. José Sá breathes a sigh of relief as he gets his hands on the ball. And the first half is done. Portugal come roaring back in quite some style. We've got a very different game now. The midway point of the game.
Well, Peter, I'm just thinking of the best way to describe that. Frantic, frenzied. It was unmissable and it was irresistible. Forget about the analysis on this one, just enjoy it.
Portugal are up by the odd goal in 3, just about shading things at the break. Here's the start of the second half. And he's intervened well there. Passing is crisp and sharp. Can he get on the end of this? Bernardo Silva was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Nuno Mendes. Strong running down that left flank. He is just caressing the ball. Vitinha! It's loose and there's a race for the ball. Pass somewhat off target. Could be danger here. Bit of an appeal, but nothing doing. And he's quick to get it clear again. He is through here. Serves up across. Mustafa Mohamed. And now the breakaway. Aims beyond the defence. Cross into the box. Mendes. And he's had a hit. Great effort, but no way through. Now, can they get him away? Mendes promptly onto that, and that is that. Vitinha. And here's Marmouche. Well read, and the danger is averted.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
This is a really front-footed approach.
A lucky break would certainly help their cause now.
Acute ball now, how can he reach it? Can he finish? He'll want to be quick to recover this. And he's following up! Oh, that was vital. So, third corner of the game. Vitinha plays it short. He's going for goal! Now, who's going to be first to this? The most accurate pass. Portugal have kept their powder dry on the substitution front so far. Could that be about to change?
It's about risk-taking and boldness now. Are we going to see any activity from the bench?
And this is Ronaldo. Great ball, and he's in here.
Substitution for Portugal. Number 87, João Neves. Number 13, Diogo Jota. Number 9, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, that is asking for trouble.
15,
Chance, surely! They've scored! And there's the goal they've been looking for.
It just came down to a battle of wills between him and the keeper, and he won it with a cracking piece of trickery.
And very quickly, the substitute made his mark.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
So the lead now is 2.
That has the feeling of a breath of fresh air, Peter, and now they can fill their lungs and just blow them away.
Conceição's, oh, what a climb! And that would have won it.
Well, judging by his reaction, he clearly feels he should have made more of it, but he's looking very much like the big threat at the moment.
Look at the space. Rafael Leão! Oh, what has happened here? Bernardo Silva. Marmoush. Nicely weighted ball.
A lot of space here, a real opportunity.
José Sá gets his hands on it, and the danger is averted. Now it's Rafael Leão. He's got away. Now it's Ramos. Oh, shooting chance! And it's there! And they are tearing the opposition apart here. Simply breathtaking stuff. Oh, that is a sweet finish, gorgeously controlled and ruthlessly dispatched.
Speed of thought, speed of action. That's another really clever finish.
Portugal grab a 3-goal lead. It's just too easy.
To be expected, Peter. They've...
Decent chance! Keeper's not concerned by that. Nice-looking ball. We've seen that early. Used a certain sixth sense. Ruben Neves. Araujo.
There will be 3 minutes added time.
And it's Ramos. And he's in on goal. Here's Fel, and the shot! They've done it! Just cruising! They are cruising!
Yeah, to see it unfold as succinctly as that, it looks telepathic.
Portugal are at the peak of their powers. As for their opponents, a long way from that. And that's it. Perfect result, perfect outcome. A test passed with flying colours. And after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
From the manager's perspective, Peter, I don't think he could have asked for much more. Well, certainly result-wise. This is a game they wanted to win for so many reasons, and his players did a sterling job carrying out the instructions. Thoroughly enjoyable.
And all that remains for me is to thank Jim Beglin. That's it from us tonight. A very good evening to
With
one
the
and
owner
all.
of a blue car parked outside the stadium gate, kindly remove it, as it is about to be towed away.